Being the wife of a billionaire is one thing, but being the First Lady of the United States? That's an entirely different universe, one filled with majestic White House hallways, global scrutiny, and unimaginable pressure. Melania Trump has lived it all, there to the spotlight, the luxury, the criticism, the duty. But what was her life really like behind the velvet curtains of American power? Let's step into the lavish yet complicated world of Melania Trump as the First Lady of the United States. Born in Slovenia, Melania had already carved out a successful modeling career before meeting the man who would change her life forever, Donald Trump. Their first encounter? A glittering night in 1998 at the exclusive Kit Kat Club during New York Fashion Week. Trump, already a billionaire tycoon with a reputation for real estate and extravagance, entered with a date, but left mesmerized by Melania's quiet elegance. He asked for her number. She declined, but that quiet resistance only made her more alluring in Trump's eyes. He was used to getting what he wanted, but Melania made him wait. After years of dating under the media's gaze, Trump proposed in 2004 with a 15-carat diamond ring worth over $1.5 million. The wedding? A spectacle of wealth and glamour. On January 22, 2005, they said "I do" at the historic Episcopal Church of Bethesda by the Sea in Palm Beach, Florida. The reception? Hosted at Trump's palatial Mar-a-Lago estate. Melania wore a $200,000 Christian Dior gown adorned with 1/500 crystals and a 13-foot train. The guest list? Star-studded. Even Bill and Hillary Clinton attended. The cake? A towering 7-tier masterpiece covered in thousands of edible flowers. It was a wedding straight out of a modern-day fairy tale. After marrying Trump, Melania entered a life of gilded opulence. She moved into the triplex penthouse atop Trump Tower, a residence coated in 24-karat gold and Italian marble, with panoramic views of Manhattan. She had access to the most coveted designer bags worth tens of thousands of dollars, a jewelry collection rivaling royalty, and a wardrobe that made headlines. Whether wearing a $51,000 Dolce & Gabbana jacket or carrying a $75,000 Hermes Birkin, Melania embodied exclusivity. But behind the flawless fashion and controlled grace, Melania and Donald's relationship has always sparked curiosity. There was never just a love story. It was a public mystery. The world often speculated about their marriage, but Melania consistently described their relationship as one built on love, mutual respect, and private understanding. Unlike first ladies before her, Melania rarely showed affection in public. She maintained a quiet presence, elegant, poised, and often mysterious. Yet behind the scenes, close friends described a bond that was both strong and playful, filled with inside jokes, late-night talks, and a sense of shared understanding. Whether on luxurious holidays or at high-profile events, Melania and Donald projected the image of a powerful, unified duo. Donald Trump was notably supportive of Melania's passions and ambitions. In the early 2010s, she launched a special jewelry line on QVC, the popular home shopping channel. The line featured elegant necklaces, bracelets, rings, and more, all at affordable prices. Many designs quickly sold out, praised for their sophisticated look and universal appeal. In an interview with Jet Set magazine, Melania revealed that jewelry design was a true passion. Inspired by her background in architecture, she explained how creativity allowed her to turn vision into reality through wearable art. Throughout the project, Donald cheered her on. In an interview with the New York Times, he praised her refined taste and sharp mind, saying he believed in her talent and urged her to pursue every opportunity. In 2006, Melania and Donald welcomed their only child together, Barron William Trump. From the very beginning, Melania made it clear her son would always come first. As First Lady, she famously delayed moving into the White House so that Barron could finish his school year in New York, a rare and powerful maternal gesture. Melania guarded Barron's privacy fiercely. Despite being the son of a president, she insisted he be given as normal a childhood as possible. As Trump's wife, Melania also became stepmother to his 4 older children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany. While she focused primarily on raising Barron, she maintained a respectful and warm relationship with all of them. Over the years, she has been seen attending events, celebrating holidays, and spending quality time with the extended Trump family. navigating a complex family dynamic with grace. Despite the constant spotlight, Melania preferred to stay out of the public eye. She spent much of her downtime at Mar-a-Lago, the Trump estate in Florida, seeking peace and privacy. There, she cherished quiet moments with Barron and her parents, Victor and Amalia Knopfs, who spent most of the year on the estate as well. In past holiday seasons, Melania would spend up to 3 weeks at Mar-a-Lago, making only brief appearances in Washington, including a surprise visit to troops in Iraq. From spring break in March 2019 to holidays like Easter, Thanksgiving, and Martin Luther King Jr. Day, her time at Mar-a-Lago was marked by reflection and retreat. Even then, her schedule rarely aligned with her husband's, symbolizing the quiet independence that came to define her first ladyship. Moving into the White House meant a total lifestyle shift, and gone were the marble halls of Trump Tower, now replaced by the historical grandeur of a 132-room presidential residence, guarded around the clock. Though luxury remained, so did scrutiny. As First Lady, Melania had to balance her elegant persona with diplomatic duties, hosting state dinners, representing the U.S. abroad, and leading her Be Best initiative. Melania Trump's signature initiative as First Lady was Be Best, a campaign aimed at promoting the well-being of children. It focused on online safety, opioid abuse prevention, and positive emotional health. Her presence was always poised, graceful, and understated. But for many, Melania remained an enigma, a silent beauty who preferred letting her actions speak rather than words. She embodied quiet sensuality and composed elegance. Her public image suggested hidden depths, but her silence on many pressing issues often sparked speculation. What did Melania really believe in? How much influence did she wield in the Trump family? That mystery began to unravel with the release of her memoir, a rare and powerful window into the woman behind the polished facade. Within its pages, Melania revealed strong personal convictions and a voice that, while often quiet in public, carried intensity, clarity, and passion. One of the most surprising revelations was her stance on abortion, a belief that sharply contrasted with the conservative base of her husband's political movement. According to her own words, Melania has always believed in a woman's right to choose, a stance she held long before her time in the White House. This belief stood in sharp contrast to the Republican Party's growing opposition to abortion, particularly under Donald Trump's presidency, when several Supreme Court justices were appointed with the goal of overturning Roe v. Wade. That reversal eventually led to heated national debates and triggered strict abortion bans across many Republican-led states. Yet in her memoir, Melania challenged the assumption that she shared those hardline views. Instead, she stood apart, a woman of poise and privacy, but also of principle. Her revelations added a complex layer to her public image. For years, Melania had been seen as silent, even submissive. But now she emerged as thoughtful, private, and surprisingly progressive on key issues. And in that contrast between silence and strength, tradition and conviction, Melania Trump cemented her place as one of the most enigmatic and unexpected first ladies in American history. Melania's unwavering belief in women's autonomy and reproductive freedom stood in stark contrast to the public rhetoric of her husband, Donald Trump, who has long been vocally anti-abortion. Her memoir didn't just illuminate her personal convictions, it challenged the assumptions many held about her passive role in the White House. Instead, it painted the portrait of a woman with her own voice, her own values, and her own sense of purpose, prioritizing compassion, understanding, and women's rights. As First Lady, Melania launched the Be Best initiative aimed at improving children's welfare. It focused on three main pillars: well-being, social media behavior, and opioid abuse. Melania emphasized the urgent need for children to use social media safely, acknowledging its potential risks alongside its benefits. Despite being under constant scrutiny, particularly because of Donald Trump's notorious use of social media, Melania remained committed to her cause. She faced skepticism head-on, admitting that some questioned her sincerity, yet she reaffirmed her devotion to the mission. Her persistence in championing children's welfare and combating cyberbullying, often in stark contrast to her husband's behavior, revealed an unshakable determination to make a positive difference. This commitment was powerfully demonstrated in her first solo international trip as First Lady when she traveled to Africa. There, she promoted healthcare and education under her Be Best platform. In Ghana, she visited the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, focusing on maternal and newborn care. Working closely with healthcare professionals, she highlighted the role of USAID in improving medical outcomes for women and children. She also visited a local school, underscoring how education can break the cycle of poverty. In Malawi, she stopped at Chapala Primary School, a recipient of USAID's supported literacy programs. Melania interacted with eager students and dedicated educators, reinforcing the idea that education is the key to independence and empowerment. During Donald Trump's successful campaign for a second term, Melania maintained her signature discretion. Although she largely stayed behind the scenes, insiders claim she helped nudge the campaign toward a more inclusive tone. On election night, she stood beside her husband, composed and serene amid the storm of celebration. Days later, she broke her silence with a thoughtful social media post calling for unity, freedom, and prosperity. This vague but poetic message stirred speculation. Was it a genuine plea for national harmony, or a subtle endorsement of Trump's often divisive policies? Subsequent posts only deepened the intrigue. One featured an eagle soaring through the clouds, captioned, "Rise Above," suggesting resilience in adversity. Another showed a tranquil landscape titled "A New Dawn," hinting at renewal and transformation. Melania's return to public life signaled a refreshed focus on optimism, resilience, and independence. But being First Lady once again came with intense scrutiny. Her fashion choices, aloof demeanor, and reluctance to play a traditional political role invited relentless media dissection. From the infamous "I really don't care, do you?" jacket to her rare public statements, everything was subject to public debate. Her style choices, too, sparked controversy. The Zara jacket worn during her visit to Texas after Hurricane Harvey, her Manolo Blahnik stilettos, and a colonial-style pith helmet during her solo Africa tour were widely criticized. Many viewed these choices as tone-deaf or symbolic of outdated power structures. Still, there's no denying the extravagance that came with her role. Married to a billionaire, Melania traveled in ultimate luxury. She flew on Trump's private Boeing 757, complete with gold-plated seatbelts and a silk-lined master bedroom. Whether vacationing in the south of France or residing in exclusive five-star hotels, her lifestyle reflected the pinnacle of opulence. Her wardrobe alone, featuring custom designer gowns, handbags worth tens of thousands of dollars, and jewelry valued at over $1.5 million, was a statement of high society. Melania attended elite events in Monte Carlo, graced red carpets in figure-hugging gowns, and embraced couture like no other First Lady. Her vacations matched this splendor. One getaway reportedly cost $174,000, a bold signal that Melania was never one to shy away from luxury. Let's begin by examining the spectacular extravagance of her lifestyle. Melania's fashion often drew curious glances. Some believed her wardrobe choices carried hidden messages, while others felt she deliberately chose lavish fabrics and styles to enhance her public persona. A woman known for her striking presence, Melania mastered the art of silent defiance, draped in diamonds and silk. Melania's most iconic fashion moments often featured her signature Chanel pieces. Her style was a delicate blend of understated elegance and quiet provocation. At the core of her aesthetic lies minimalist sophistication, tailored dresses and coats, sleek jumpsuits, and sensual gowns that accentuate her statuesque frame. Her wardrobe ranged from crisp shirt dresses to flowing gowns that could rival royalty, always accompanied by her signature Louboutin heels, oversized black sunglasses, and elegant long gloves. For Melania, accessories weren't just adornments. They were statements of power, confidence, and class. These signature pieces became symbols of an untouchable elegance, reinforcing the mystique she carefully crafted. Her color choices reflected her minimalist preference, favoring black, white, and cream. Occasionally, she introduced sandy khakis and nudes, with pops of crimson and bright red, especially in February. Melania's wardrobe drew inspiration from military equestrian themes, safari style, and a quiet homage to First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. This influence was most evident in her inauguration look, a pale blue Ralph Lauren cashmere suit, gloves, and pumps to match, a clear nod to Jackie Kennedy's 1961 ensemble. Throughout the years, Melania embraced vintage influences, two-piece suits, turtlenecks, structured coats, and wide-leg trousers reminiscent of 1960s fashion icons. Pastel shades of blue, pink, and yellow became staples, alongside cropped pants and Audrey Hepburn-inspired looks for her more casual duties. One of her most unforgettable style moments came during a state visit to the UK. She wore a 690 Greek-inspired off-shoulder gown by J. Mendel. The flowing chiffon dress emphasized her grace and near-regal bearing. She also made a striking statement while welcoming Colombian President Iván Duque Marcos and First Lady Maria Juliana Ruiz to the White House. She wore a bold, hot pink dress with a $4,200 Fendi houndstooth coat and nude heels, a daring combination that underlined her commanding presence. On her final day as First Lady, Melania wore a black Chanel skirt suit, long leather gloves, a $75,000 crocodile Birkin bag, and patent Louboutin heels. She then changed into a vibrant orange Gucci dress aboard Air Force One, preparing for her journey to Palm Beach. Melania's wardrobe was no accident. It was the result of meticulous planning and collaboration. At the center of it was Hervé Pierre, a renowned French designer who previously worked with Oscar de la Renta and Carolina Herrera. Pierre co-designed her iconic inaugural gown. Their partnership was rooted in creativity and strategy, crafting a wardrobe that balanced personal style with political optics. Pierre's process was methodical and discreet. He shopped anonymously at elite retailers like Bergdorf Goodman and Saks Fifth Avenue. He ensured no other public figure wore the same outfit, granting Melania an unmatched exclusivity. His attention to detail preserved her air of mystery, elegance, and refined sophistication. Melania's billionaire lifestyle extended beyond fashion, into her luxury cars and real estate empire. She was seen in Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, and even a $200,000 Maybach. As the wife of one of the world's most well-known billionaires, she enjoyed red carpets, exclusive social circles, and luxury beyond imagination. Melania Trump had the rare luxury of inhabiting some of the world's most extravagant real estate, from the iconic Trump Tower penthouse in New York to the historic White House and Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, a 6,500 square foot, 126-room mansion valued at over $200 million. She also frequented the sprawling Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Each residence was a masterpiece of wealth, adorned with gold marble and priceless art, symbols of Melania's rarefied world. A life of gilded chandeliers, marble decor, and sweeping views of the New York skyline, valued at over $100 million, perfectly encapsulates Melania's refined taste. Another crown jewel in their collection is Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, often called the Winter White House. Purchased by Donald Trump in 1985, this 20-acre estate boasts 128 rooms and a sprawling 6,500 square foot mansion. It includes extravagant amenities, a grand ballroom, a pool, tennis courts, and direct access to the Atlantic Ocean. It serves both as a private residence and an exclusive club for the global elite, valued at over $100 million. The Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, is yet another lavish retreat, both a private country club and a family getaway. Spanning 500 acres with pristine golf courses and peaceful countryside, it's a summer favorite of the Trump family. Melania's real estate portfolio also includes the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., housed in a historic old post office building. With 263 rooms and panoramic views of the U.S. Capitol, the hotel was a symbol of luxury until the family sold it at a premium. On a personal level, Melania owns a New York City property valued between $500,000 and $1 million, as well as a rental in Ljubljana, Slovenia. The Slovenian property alone generates between $15,000 and $50,000 per year in rental income. From Trump Tower to Mar-a-Lago and beyond, Melania Trump's property collection reflects her passion for luxurious, private spaces. It cements her position among the ultra-wealthy, but with that power comes immense security and constant surveillance. As First Lady, Melania was under 24/7 Secret Service protection, ensuring her safety at all times. But with that safety came a loss of privacy. Every movement watched, every choice analyzed. Unlike her previous billionaire lifestyle, where she could roam freely, the presidency imposed invisible but heavy restrictions. From model to billionaire's wife to First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump's journey is one of glamour, violence, influence, and constant scrutiny. Melania Trump remains the ultimate symbol of billionaire elegance. And through it all, she has preserved her signature poise and grace. She lives a life most can only dream of. But what do you think of her time as First Lady? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories of power and privilege.